and you are herdsmen. For we are what? How are you doing? You came this week? You're welcome. Where are your people? Are they here? Good. So how is Joss? You're welcome. Welcome. Let there be no trouble between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are what? I can't hear you. So because we are brethren, we decide to take steps to prevent quarrel. We take steps to prevent animosity. We take steps to do things that would enhance brotherhood, brotherly kindness. We already have enough reason to quarrel, but the senior partner of this relationship says, no, we are brethren. He could have said, you are my nephew. But he says, we are brethren. He recognized that this man had grown. This man probably came as his houseboy, but the man has become a man of his own. And he didn't want to have problems with him. So he took their staff were really quarreling. So he encouraged him, showed him the reasons why we should not all quarrel. It's not the whole land before you. We are not just brethren, but what is before us? The whole land. The whole land is before us. The whole land is before us. We're not struggling. It's difficult to apply that portion in election, for instance. You know, PDP and APC cannot say the whole land is before us. But the whole land is before us. People must decide to vote for PDP or APC. Now, but given their nature, they have to fight and quarrel. But this man said, no, we are brethren. The land is before us. Because the land is before us, you can take what you like. So if this becomes your mindset, you will not begin to fight with people. Are you with me? And then he goes on to, now you cannot think the whole land is before me. For you to believe that the whole land, that means that if Mrs. Ukafia progresses, that does not stop my progress. Her progress is not naturally meaning that as a husband I'm not going to progress. So you need, and that's the win-win philosophy. That, listen, the land is big enough before us. No two eagles can collide because the sky is pretty wide. Everybody can succeed. So we don't need to quarrel. I don't need to tear her down for me to become big. The whole land is before us. If you go to the left, where do I go? He said, please separate from me. If you take the left, then I will go to the right. Or if you go to the right, then I will go where? To the left. Now, for you to understand that or to believe that wherever I go, I must be successful, I really need to know God. Are you following me? So I'm not fighting about location. Pastor Fulabi got a place to start church in Lagos, and a church in that neighborhood made so much trouble. So he left it. He left it. The complaint was baseless. He had no reason. This is an open place that they got, and we're going to do church there. But the other church felt that it was too close to them. And if it was another person, they won't mind. For being Pastor Fulabi, you cannot do church there. It will close their own church. So he too left it. He said, if you go to the right, I will go to where? Now, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. I keep saying Jesus was the preacher that didn't take testimony from Uyo to Ikoregbone. He didn't need to tell the Ikoregbone people what he did in Uyo. Because what he did in Uyo, he could do in The testimonies were generated at every location. So all of us must come to where your life, you come to the concept that, listen, you really don't need to tell stories. Right or wrong. Right is okay, but you can't even imagine that you were telling things that are inaccurate to promote yourself. No, it does not arise. That would bring you down instead. So it's important, it's crucial. Except we believe these things, it will become extremely difficult for us to live like this. We need to believe that God is with us. We need to believe that God's going to make us become great and outstanding. That if you become great, that does not stop me from becoming what? So I don't need to say things about you. I don't need to run you down for me to become what? May the Lord help us in the name of Jesus. So you will find that that mindset makes you to understand that no matter what happens, I am who I am. And I'm going to accomplish what God wants me to accomplish. I tell the pastors, I'm not a front row person. In fact, I sit on the front row against my own desire when I show up in events. I'm more comfortable somewhere in the fourth row. But you know, there are people who've got to struggle to sit in front. And they probably will come 2-3 hours to find a seat in front. But I will sit on the third, fourth row, and I still get introduced. Why does that happen? Because the introduction is not based on where you are sitting. Are you following me? It is not the seat that makes you who you are. It is who you are that makes the seat you sit on. So you need to understand that you should be somebody first. And then you are not now beginning to in this town. You know, I was telling one pastor who was trying to act like a very big person. I said to him, in this town, even if I came to your church where you are the pastor, I will likely have more influence than you. In that your congregation, you will find people I have discipled. Are you following me? And that for me is not an empty boast. Because I've literally spent my entire life discipling people. So it is not something I do once in a while. Are you with me? So, and you keep doing it. Whether people you see, you know them, you don't know them, this is what you do I say, for a living? So people are growing, you blessing people, you are advancing them. So when they see you and call you pastor, it's not just a title. Now, but it's different that if, because I'm Ubong's pastor, and Ubong now is a big government officer, and I build a relationship with him. No. You are living for that time. You are doing things now that you know that 15 years from now, that's what we want to see. So you are living that life today. You're relating with that teenager, not because he's just 15 years now, not because tomorrow he's going to become a lawyer, tomorrow he's going to be a doctor, tomorrow he will become the governor. That's only part of it. Are you following me? But because there's a seat there. Just join Sam, don't worry. Madam, join your husband here. Thank you. Are you following me? So here I am with this little boy, and we build a great relationship. And then I run into him in Lagos. And he's now a doctor. Do you think he will treat me well? So I'm not waiting to meet a doctor before I treat the doctor well. So if you want to be treated well tomorrow, what do you do today? You treat people well. You relate well with people. You invest in their life. You connect. You are not waiting for the man to become a big man and then you want to be nice to him. How are you, sir? Welcome. No. You know, some of my friends, they went for a meeting and one said to my wife, Oh, let me introduce you to so and so. Who is likely going to become so and so? And my wife said to her, we're in school together, so we already know ourselves. He said, what of your husband? He said, no, my husband is also a very close friend of her husband. And he said, is there any person that you people don't know? Why would you keep knowing people? Because you are not waiting for them to be great before you connect with them. Are you following me? Once you meet with people, listen, treat my daughter, when we began our outing, would ask me, why do you call everybody my brother? Is that your brother? I say, yes. Every adult whose name I don't know, you have to learn to treat them well. Say, what of sir? So anybody I think is senior to me, I should greet him, good evening, sir. He said, okay. What of this one that is coming? Are you following me? So you establish that tradition, so you connect with people, you bond with people, and tomorrow, those people have an opportunity. They probably are running an event. I went to Ibom Hall. They were going to inaugurate this ministry. This professor who now is a member of church. Dr. Ma was there. The chairman is somebody I disciple. So I sat 4 rows behind him. He said, no, Pastor, you can't sit behind me. I said, no, I want to just sit here. You stay there. When Daddy comes, so we'll go with you and receive him. So we went out, received Dr. Ma, brought him, sat him down, and I went back to my sister. Where's my chairman? I came. He said, what are you doing? I said, that's where I want to sit. That's where I was sitting. He said, okay, what do they want me to do? So I told him what he should do. Then the chairman greeted me as his pastor. The only person I didn't pastor in that hall was the preacher, who preached so well. Then at the end came to me and said, my pastor. I said, no, I'm not your pastor. He said, no, you want to deny me? You are everybody's pastor here. Why do you want to deny me? I said, but I'm their pastor. Your own, we are just meeting here. Say, I want you to also be my pastor. Now, the results you want to see tomorrow should determine the life you're living now. The Bible says about Jesus, who for the joy that was set before him did what? He didn't say he enjoyed the happiness. No, he endured. He endured. I know that this marriage is going to become great, but there's something I have to endure now. Why? Because there is a joy I can see ahead. Am I making sense? He didn't say who for the joy that was set before him and enjoyed everything that happened. No. He endured it. There are things that you are not happy now. When we teach about success in the leadership school, there is a line that I always like the students to write down. It says that most failures do not like to do some things. And then he goes further to say that most successes too don't like doing them either. Now, but for those who eventually succeed, he said their dislike is subordinated to their purpose. I don't like greeting people, but I know that to have the kind of result that I need to have, I should do what? Greet people. I don't like relating with people, but to have the kind of result that I need to have, I should do what? So my dislike, because of my purpose, that is subsumed, is overcome, is suppressed. Now, but the person who will end up as a failure, his dislike is stronger. Pastor, go to the front, leave the choir people to take their seat. Their dislike, for those who will eventually fail, their dislike will rule their life. You say, my wife is always making trouble. I don't know. Is there anybody here who likes trouble? Whether from husband or from wife? Everybody does not like trouble. Everybody does not like to be treated badly. But you see, you have to endure. Why? Because that's the only way to generate joy. Who for the joy that was set before him. That joy is not present now. But there is no way you can have that joy tomorrow if there is no endurance today. Are you with me? So you say, no, I don't take insults. Who are you talking to? Is it me you are talking to like that? And the person say, yes, so Arunam, so. So you clean your hand. Don't clean your hand. You should rather dirty your hand so it will be a dirty slap. The trouble that will come out. See, you've got to allow the vision of tomorrow guide your life today. Are you with me? Next year, I want to build a house. Next year, I want to move from a 1-bedroom to a 2-bedroom. That means my rent will increase by 100,000. How do I generate that money? Will my salary increase? Will God send the money from heaven? So you look at probably your expenditure. I don't know whether it's on Sunday or where was I, and I said, listen, you can even decide to take down your transport from work and make it savings. And trek to work as exercise. But poor people would say, everybody would think I don't have money. They are thinking, but you know that you don't have money. It is them that are thinking. You know the fact. You know that you don't have money. Are you hearing me? So you trek to work and you are much, much healthier. Much, much healthier. I'm not wearing this watch for show. It looks very nice, isn't it? Now, but this is not, I probably have better watches. But this is more for exercise. When I got the watch, I really liked it. I said, why did they have to send me this night watch? Too big. If I bought it, it would be smaller. I don't like it. I told him, don't spoil this, So he told me that he needs the manual. I said, okay, we'll go to the house. I think we brought it the next day or same day. So he looked at it. Then by the time I came, he was showing me my heart rate on his phone. I said, did I ask you to connect this watch to your phone? Give me back. I said, give me back. Because I didn't know that it could do all that. Now, so now at the end of the day, he even told me that his own would tell him that he slept for only 2 hours. I thought it was joking. I didn't wear it to sleep. But the day I now wore it to sleep, I slept for only 2.5 hours. Proper restful sleep. 3.5 light sleep. 37 minutes I was awake. Now, it helps me to understand. It means I've not been really nice to my body. Now, without the watch, once I do my exercise, Innocent would say, whatever you used to do, do it. Once I do, and the first time I wore it to do my regular walk, I did not even still reach my 10,000 goal, but I was over 8,000. And generally, if I do that walk once a week, then the next 2-3 days, I feel very well. But now I can have facts, I can have data. So I know how far behind I am. We have a smaller watch. This one, I don't know how much it costs. That one wasn't up to $100. That I use for that exercise. It does the counting on it. But Mrs. Ukafia uses it for show. Because it has many colorful straps. It has blue, it has red, it has black. So when she wants red watch, she takes it. When she wants... But you think that thing is for show. It's not for show. It's for you to get your health, your life to be, and live a more healthy life. But that has now been combined and made it to look like very colorful, beautiful wristwatch. And if somebody steals it, you would think that he has done me very bad. Will I miss it? I miss it. But see, by my own feeling, I can tell how many steps behind I ought to have taken. When you don't take your exercise. So, if I want to be healthy tomorrow, what should I do today? But we need to have plans for... Yesterday, Mrs. Susan asked me a question on TV that a comedian made a joke that people were... this family got married, this had a baby, and Once the baby was born, the husband was running up and down. Even napkin they didn't bring to the hospital. Not to talk of paying the bill. So they say, didn't you know your wife was pregnant? Say, we know. It is not in our culture to plan. Is that right? Do you agree with me? We didn't know. But Pastor Bon gave us a good testimony. Young man in church, his wife gets pregnant when they didn't want it. And he doesn't have a regular job that pays him money monthly. He works for himself and makes money daily. And they met and decided that, why don't you save money daily? And they agreed on a plan. How much were they saving? 500 naira a day. When the day the baby was born, he had over 150,000 in his account. Will he be able to pay the bill? Will he blame God? Yes, last Sunday, I think it was, somebody read us a scripture, Proverbs 19, verse 3, in the Message Bible. Proverbs, I think it's 19, verse 3. The foolishness of man perverted his way. People ruin their life by their own words. And what happens? Who gets blamed? Who ruins his life? So, whatever it is that you are planning, I've also told you the story of the pastor whose wife is being ill in and out. And he said to me like 5-6 years ago, he said, Pastor or doctor, it's not as if my border is not this sickness. It is how our health will be in the next 10 years. How will she be when she is 60? Because she's not taking any advice from anybody, no instruction from anybody. Blood sugar was giving trouble, and when got admitted in the hospital, the dietitian would give a prescription. In fact, it was one day she now told me, said, don't mind these people. They want to punish me. That when everybody has gone, she will order fresh fish soup with pounded yam. And she will wash it down with cold water. Imagine what they were asking me to eat. Unripe plantain with beans and very small. No matter what they did, the sugar wasn't coming down. Nobody could tell, but she told me by herself. Now, if you continue to eat like this, and they cannot bring down your blood sugar, this week, a young lady brought the brother. He can't see. And we prayed. I said, beyond praying, go to Zara. They have events going on there now. But before they left, we decided to talk. It just started like this. How did it start? No, it just started. How? Trying to find out what could it, at the point of departure, as I wrote a letter, asking the people at Zara to see what they can do and give me counsel. I found out there's a blood pressure problem. And I said, was it control? There's a sugar problem. You were aware of this? If you consistently allow your blood sugar to be above average, blindness is a complication. If your blood pressure is consistently above normal, it can also affect your eyes. So because you don't want to be blind, or because you don't want to have stroke, what do you do to your blood pressure? I can't hear you. You control it. Say no. Now, what if I am believing that I am healed? No problem. Let the doctor confirm that you are. Let the doctor say, your blood pressure is too low. You used to take 2 tablets. Take 1 now. Let's see what happens. And you come back, they say, no, it's too low. Don't take that medicine again. Let us see next week. Because if you stop the medicine, and some people would say, I have gone to every hospital, and they say there's nothing wrong with me. They didn't find. Which hospital did you go? They can't mention. Now, for me, for you to say you have done everything possible means you have seen a specialist doctor in the area. You have seen a specialist, in the area who has tried to manage the case and has not succeeded. It's not that you went to see a general doctor somewhere who is treating malaria and you have a difficult blood pressure problem that needs to see a cardiologist in that area. In this town now, people have obstetricians attending their delivery. Not just a general doctor in this town. But you also have people who just go to any hospital. Hey, doctor, over there. Check his hair. Or you do like my father. My father gives instruction to the doctor. When he's almost dying, he won't go. He says he won't go today. Tomorrow. Then he will go. He said, doctor, admit me. What is the problem? See if he said, admit me first. So they admit him. And then they start. And the day is going. He also tells them that I'm going today. They say, how you can't go? He said, remember that I'm the one that brought myself. And you think he's joking. He will also go on that day. You see, my problem, when the problem is your health and you are not serious, is that it will affect the rest of us. If you die, we will have to come for your burial. Is it not so? If it was that it didn't affect anything we are doing, I wouldn't be bothered. Because I see some of our people who have an ulcer problem. You don't need to even take medicine. Just have a regular, healthy eating habit. That's a problem. Say, I was not hungry. Do you have to be hungry to eat? Now, visionary living is taking that food so that you don't have pain. I want this thing not to recur. So I have this plan. I will eat 6, 7, 9 a.m., take a light meal. Once you do that over a long time and this is totally healed, you are free. But you will say, no, it doesn't matter. Is it not pain? That when the pain starts, I can take small medicine. If you see when the pain pains them, 2 a.m., and you're looking like you will die, you will die, you will die. Die, you have not died. And these are things we can totally avoid. Are you following me? Now, we can start it from small things like health, pain, and sickness. But we can take it to any area of our life. Your relationship, your business. That young man who had 150,000, as when the baby was born, he could give his wife money, he could take care of himself. She asked me on TV and said, she said, what if people are just believing that the money will be paid? I said, I would be embarrassed. He said, well, that somehow something will happen. I said, like what? He said, the governor's wife will come to the hospital. And I said, I will be very embarrassed that I took my wife to the hospital and I did not have money. No, it's totally unacceptable. The day they gave us that big generator was one of my greatest embarrassment. We had 3 generators, 3 of our own. We hired another one, and the gen went down. We looked foolish. Archbishop Cletus Bassey said, well, you don't have to feel sad. We have a new generator. I said, it doesn't make sense to me. We need to plan. Now, it's better to have a small plan and then not reach the top so you can ask for help. So, we plan, but to have normal delivery, now we have surgery and we have half of the money. Can you help us with half? It's not to say, well, my wife just delivered. Praise the Lord, somebody. Praise the Lord. We're taking offering for hospital bill now. How many of you here want to give us 10,000? Rise up, because the Lord is about to bless you. Lord, raise your hand, raise your hand. Yes, I can see your hand. Yes, I can see your hand. Spirit is not moving here. What of there? No. Listen, intelligent people will look down on you. Are you following me? They will look down on you. See, we need to be able to have a plan. I don't know what picture. Abraham, knowing what was ahead, he rose above strife, gave up his right, pursued his goal to find God by separating himself from Lot. If Abraham did not depend on God to accomplish what he was going to do you think he will separate from Lot? He won't. He will get involved in a fight. He will want to prove a point to Lot. But if you know that you need God to accomplish what you have to accomplish, you can avoid some fights. People can insult you and you say, no problem. Say, my wife is always, somebody called me on radio yesterday and said, my wife is always shouting at me, no matter what I do. The way he introduced himself, the host would say, your name? He said, well, let me not mention my name. I'm a senior pastor. He said, okay, but take a name. So he chose one name. He said, senior pastor of a church. He said, pastor, I'd like to ask a question. My wife harasses me. Nothing I do that she does not shout at me. So he asked him a question and said, hold on, pastor will talk to you. And then I asked him a question. I said, does your wife pay your bills? He said, yes. I said, well, you know the saying that says that he who pays the piper. Are you following me? Then we started. I wanted to ask another question, and then I lost him. Then, we tried to attempt to answer the question, hoping he heard over the radio. Now, that your wife pays your bill is not necessarily enough reason for insult. Some of the best women I know earn all the monies their husbands spend, and no outsider is aware. I know a woman who will not even attempt to drive the car. You see, the more enlightened you are, for me, the more humble you become. Are you following me? So it is not about the money. And I said to him, hoping he listen, every woman wants to marry a man he can look up to. Now, maybe because you are not making as much money, you are not carrying yourself well. Your wife wants to look up to you, so you must grow up and provide proper leadership. Build up your leadership capacity. You don't need to have money to walk straight. Are you following me? Even without a dime in your pocket, I still come and eat very good food and collect all of Ms. Ukafia's money. She has developed a new technique now. She gives me the money only instrumentally. And since that is also very peaceful, I like collecting it instrumentally. So I go and come back and collect another one. Go and come back. Don't use my style. Use your own if it's working for you. Are you following me? So you need to, if you understand that, you are a husband and you're not carrying yourself well, you're not dressing in a way that makes your wife happy, in a way that your wife wants to go out with you, change so that she can be proud of you. If your husband is also complaining about your dressing as a woman, what should you do? Say, don't worry. Christmas may that not be your own story. By faith, Abraham obeyed when he was called to go out of the place which he would receive as an inheritance. And he went out not knowing where he was going. By faith, he dwelt in the land of promise as in a foreign land, a foreign country, dwelling in what? In what? Tents with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same. For he waited for what? Do you have your bulletin? Oh, who is giving us King James? You are not following us. We are reading from the New American Standard. Okay, thank you. Whose architect and builder was what? Now, we need to get past where our expectation is what we are doing. There's something God is doing for us as a family. We are believing for it. We will see it. Are you following me? There's something God is doing for us as a business. We are going to receive it and we are going to see it with our life. Something whose architect. This is not my idea. Who is the architect? Who is going to every time their husband wants to eat? I don't mean that I read in a book. In this church. Say how? They do a la carte. In this church. So you that is thinking, huh? A la carte. That's, I mean, oh, every time they be there, get them a okay, I want to cook. Make a pastor, when you see women that their husbands venerate, ask them, what do they do? Your husband cannot tell you sit down and you sit. Then you go out with him. You see another woman who venerates her husband, treats him at home. And you want to be treated the same way. You should ask yourself, go and ask the woman, what do you do to your husband that makes him treat you like this? You are very rebellious. Even in that ceremony, your husband comes and says, sit here. And because everybody there, you won't even say anything, you just look and look at the chair. Then you go and sit somewhere. So even in joke, you are rebellious. And you think that your husband, you think that your family will be at peace. It won't be. And then you find people, you don't know what that man does or the wife does for the husband. You don't. I told you the story of the young lady who told me she was leaving and I was in her house waiting for her husband to return. She met him by the car door, opened the door. Darling, welcome. Pastor Ukafia is in the house. Collected his bag. Both of them were classmates in the same school. So it's not as if the husband had a bachelor's degree in civil construction and engineering from America and the wife came from Okoromita Grammar Secondary School, Okorite Town, or Comsecom in a town. Both of them were in the same class, did youth service together. And she meets him by the car, collects the bag, says, Pastor Ukafia is at home. The man came, sat down with me, and we talked. He said, what do you like to eat? The man said, what do you have? She said, egusi, okra, and something else. He chose something. He said, what do you want? You want snail? You want fish? Then I took over. I said, you must be very stupid. You brought me here for drama. Are you not the one that said you want to go? He said, yes, she's still going. Then she started crying. She said, ask him. Have I failed in my own conjugal duty to you? Is it that you say you wanted to have sex and I said no? But I can't even call you for you to answer. That girl gets his lunch, not breakfast, lunch. He has food at work, but he doesn't eat it. Leaves their house before 6 a.m. with his lunch. Some of you looking at me, lunch in your house cannot be ready before 3 p.m. But her own husband leaves the house before 6 a.m. with lunch. Then you want to go and compare yourself. You want to. See, if we get to heaven, and when I say it, it means like it looks like a joke. Because when you see what some people are doing, and want some people who cannot even get close to 10%. You'll be amazed. You will wonder, why did I marry? Because some people didn't need to marry at all. You should have just stayed alone and be coming to church. You got married, and the things that married people do, you are not interested in it. You got married, and all you succeeded to do is to disconnect your husband from his people. You got married, and all you succeeded to do is to separate your wife completely from her family. We had issues. We're trying to find, this boy has to find the sister. They all live in the same town, and the brother does not know the sister's house because she got married. So you could see that those things that the problem of their marriage was not just, and when I found that, then I knew that, well, it's not that we haven't done well. And men and brethren, marriage is one area where there's a lot of trouble. If you can manage your marriage well, you are likely going to manage many other things properly. Are you following me? You are able to, you learn how to greet your husband well, greet your wife well. You are likely also able to greet other people well. There's some people treat their husbands well, but they don't treat other people well. Some people treat their wives well, balance your life. What price are you willing? You are a school teacher, but you are not teaching well because you never prepare your lessons. So your goal next is that you are going to become a meaningful teacher. You are going to teach people. You are going to connect with them for the rest of their life. Listen, those people you are teaching will determine your future. Are you following me? They are the blessings that God will use to bless you. And if you are not teaching them meaningfully, you are just going there to say, and then why for what? And they later found that, this is our teacher. What was he teaching us? You will become a laughing stock among them. They will only remember you for jokes. But if you are the one that gave them the foundation of grammar, it's like every singer has somebody they call my choir master. They may not be outstanding, but somebody who helped them cut their teeth. Somebody who brought them across that cliff. May you be that teacher. That teacher that 20 years after, when the students run into you and say, excuse me, sir, are you not so and so? Say, yes. He said, I was your student. Thank you, sir, for what you did for us. One man, Archbishop of Methodist here church here before he got transferred to Calabar, said he went to buy tickets in Port Harcourt. And then he saw this young lady and this young boy. He was on the queue. And then they were laughing, they were giggling. They would look at him. So he suspected that, what are they doing? Then the girl came and asked him, said, excuse me, sir, are you so and so? He said, yes. He said, you taught in that class. He said, I used to be your student. What are you trying to do? He said he wants to buy tickets. So when he got to his turn, he asked for the ticket. And do you know they upgraded it to business class and paid? Don't be the kind of teacher that when that student sees you there, he'll be cursing you. He will look at you and say, you didn't think I would get here. See me here. I passed. Said, I didn't graduate that year because you suffered me, but look at me here. In fact, he will tell you where he's working first. He said, how are you, sir? He said, why know you? I said, yeah, sir, how can you forget me? I am that girl you said I will never graduate. He said, so you graduated? He said, yes, I did not only graduate. I have a very good job. What brought you here? He said, we are not selling to you. Get out. Help me tell your neighbor, don't be that kind of teacher. See the future of the people you are teaching now. Are you with me? Invest in their future. My twins are learning how to read time. That's the smallest thing for me. So they will, I need the phone. I want to see the time. So he will point, say, Daddy, it's 5:41. 5:41, 5:41. I say, yeah, that's 5:41. He said, okay, that's good. He will off it. 20 minutes later, he will come and punch it. He's very happy. I'm also happy to teach him how to read time. I can't explain more than that. But it's a major milestone. Both of them. It's okay. I can't see it on. Can I use mommy's iPad? Yes. Punch it. Oh, it is 7:43. What does that mean? I said, that is the time. That is the time. Do you know that that thing can separate us and it can bond us together? Their joy is more important to me than my iPad. Because they are not just training to live in Okorete town. They are training to be global citizens. We're on this flight and Joy was playing with one other white girl, and then the girl took the mother's pad and started painting. So she too left and took our pad and started painting. Don't raise your child like a villager. You have a phone, they cannot touch it. The way your father grew you. Sit down with them. Google has Solomon's daughter. We're driving to church, and in London, the boy said, "Say you are a liar." So the mother said, "Stop that! Don't call my son a liar. Don't label him." He said, "But he's lying." He said, "That's different. You can say he's not telling the truth. Don't call him a liar." He said, "But it's the same thing." So they were arguing. He said, "It's not the same thing." He said, "Because the father of all liars is the devil." So the girl looked at him and said, "Mommy, are you sure? Are you sure? Is the devil the father of all liars?" The mother said, "Yes." It's okay, I will ask Gogo. He said, "I will ask Gogo whether the father of all liars is the devil." Now, it looks small. This small girl is arguing with the mother, and she says she's going to ask who? Whether the devil is the father of all liars. Friends, let's see our lives tomorrow. Where are we ending up? If you keep reading your Bible the way you are reading now, what kind of Christian will you be tomorrow? At this level of your prayer life, what kind of spiritual power will you have available to you next year? Are you with me? Because I need to be a more powerful Christian, so I need to start praying better. So I get up. My twins also speak in tongues. The other holiday, we breathe every day. We came for morning prayer, so they will be looking. They join. I don't know. They started speaking in tongues. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "He is praying." So now when we do morning prayer, I said, "No, we're singing in English. Give us a song. You will sing. We will play." That morning prayer is at their level. When we have visitors, they don't think we are serious, because that is the level of our family now. We don't have to be. My children are more important than any guest I have. I'm not there to prove anything to anybody. So we sing at that level. The boy is the choir master now. He will get very angry. "You spoiled the song. Everybody stop." I said, "Okay, stop. Stop." So we stop. Then he will sing it from beginning to end. And then it's okay, follow me. Then we'll now follow him. Is it not better that he's connecting with us? But you see, we don't even have to beat them. Because once I'm angry, he cries. Once I am angry now, or if I raise my voice, then somebody, or that say, they will start crying and say, "What happened?" Say, "Sarah says I'm not her friend." That's all. Is that why you cry? And this iPad is on this table. They can't take it until I say take it. And now I'm almost saying, "But you can always take it." Then I said no. So he's calling up somewhere and said, "What's the matter?" He said, "That you said you will give me your iPad when you come back, but you have refused to give me your iPad." I said, "But the iPad," I wanted to say, "But that's it by you." But because I told him not to take it. So they will go behind and say, Mommy, can I take Daddy's iPad? We have found, I said, what did Mommy say? You can't be asking me about Mommy's iPad. So I like to drink Coke. I said, anything out of the fridge, talk to Mommy. What did Mommy say? He said, we cannot. So why do you ask me? Now, so whatever it is, these children's future is important. So how are you living today? When I go back home and I see a channel, I don't know, all those all kinds, and I need to know who is watching this. I said no, and who brought it on? Who brought it on? All of us have to watch what they are watching. You can't bring that one in when they are there. I do CNN, so when they have their own time, when it's over, but we all must be ready to sacrifice. If I stay out of my house 8 hours and somebody is making them watch Nollywood, and it happens every day, do you think I will be looking like a responsible parent? So I got to talk to all the other caregivers. See, and I said to one of them the other day, I said, I don't like people who don't take instructions. Don't come outside to the bare ground without slippers. I know it's your leg. But this house rule says that nobody should go outside without shoe. When you break that rule, the children would follow you. So, and I've warned you about this before. When I stop you from coming here, you will say I'm bad. Because it looks small. But I want, I have my own, I'm thinking of tomorrow. I grew up in Okorete town. We didn't have all the shoes in the world until we left village to Aba town. In Aba town, we didn't live in the most, but at our standard, we were highly placed people in our town. When I look at those children today, I get amazed. They come from school, they put the uniform in dirty clothes bag. I will laugh. And then they go and have a shower. I say, you do like this every day? You don't even wear, you wake up in the morning, you put that night dress in the dirty clothes bag. In my mind, I've decided, I said, don't worry, you people will soon start washing clothes by yourself. They come from church now, they remove that dress and put it in the, I said, no, you have just worn this dress 2 hours. They said, this is how we wait. I said, okay. I have said to myself, I hope they are not here. They are in their church. Say, don't worry, you will soon start washing your clothes. That time you will know. You will look at it and say, but this thing is not dirty now. I caught you. I caught you. But when somebody is washing for you, they will get to where we are. Friends, I hope I have another session. I think that God would help us. Let me have the prayer leader lead us in the next 10 minutes to pray. Our prayer leader for today. Let's rise on our feet. After that, we'll have praise.